Hello fellow pilots, welcome on this new flight. For today's flight we will be flying from Milan in Italy to Venice, also in Italy. The ICAO code of Milan is Lima India Mike Charlie, and the ICAO code for Venice is Lima India Papa Zulu. As you can see, we will be flying in a fictional Alitalia livery of the Zibo 737-800. We are currently parked at the gate at Milan, and when we have a look outside we can see that the aircraft is currently being serviced. The baggage carts are on their way. I guess the catering is also on its way. We have beautiful weather, beautiful scenery also at Milan, so it will be a very fun flight, I think. Over there, the Alps, nice mountains, EasyJet A320. So if you're all ready while the aircraft is being serviced, I suggest we start the aircraft up. We load the passengers, close the doors, and get going to Venice. First of all, let's start the flight leg and ask for some ground power so that we can start, turn on the battery, use some ground power and start the APU. Like this, and I'll turn on the nav lights, arm the emergency exit lights. Seatbelts seem to be fastened already. Window heat on. All looking perfect. Now let's ask for some ATIS. Via the ACAR system, it takes a while. Like this. Now let me see if Avitab can give us a decent route. It still remembered the route. I've looked it up a couple of minutes ago already from Milan to Venice. We'll enter that route in our FMC. As you can see, it will be a very short flight, 157 nauticals. This does not yet include the SID and the star, but thank you, but we will be there quite soon. Okay, the APU is online, as we can see from behind. Look at the heat coming out of the aircraft's tail. We're receiving the catering. There are tow tugs. Oh, they're not yet tow tugs. I haven't called yet for them, but there are baggage carts. That's what I mean. Coming. So let's continue here and use the APU power, which means we can switch off the ground power. We don't need the GPU anymore. We can now set the IRSs to nav so they will align. These two lights should come alive, align and align. Perfect. This will only take a minute. And that's it for this panel, except that we can also turn on the air conditioning. We will have air conditioning if we switch on the APU bleed. Our flight altitude today will be flight level 230. This is already entered here, which is perfect. Let me see if we already have the ATIS information. ATIS dating from more or less 2 hours ago. Wind 100 degrees, 5 knots, variable, more than 10 kilometers of visibility. Few clouds, 3500, 28 degrees centigrade temperature and 18 degrees dew point with QNH 1011. Let me enter that here so we don't forget it. Perfect. So I suggest we will be taking off from runway 17 left, whose threshold is just behind us. So it will be a very short taxi to the runway threshold. Today we will be flying offline. We can see some static AI aircraft parked over here, but I haven't done the job yet to reactivate the AI traffic or to reactivate my iVeo account. I should be doing that anytime. Now I see that the strobe lights are on. Why are the strobe lights on? My landing lights seem to be on. This is weird. I haven't turned them on yet. Let me see. Like this. Now that is something weird. Okay, so the strobe lights are off. If I set them on strobe, we have strobes, perfect. If I set them on steady, Okay, I must have misset the switch. We can go ahead and close the forward entry door and the forward service door. I think baggage carts are still on their way. We are still receiving some catering. So let's just go ahead and fire up the FMC. Let's initialize our position. We are at Lima India Mike Charlie today with a GPS position that I will enter as our IRS position. Route from Lima India Charlie to Lima India Papa Zulu Venice will be via Navitab. Thank you. Oscar. And the Lima 615. That's an airway. Adosa. And then the Lima 612. Yes. And finally Albert. I'll activate the route. Now we will be departing runway 17 left via the November Oscar Victor 7 Yankee departure. No discontinuities, no, nothing. This is wonderful. Now let me ask for pushback. We are currently still receiving the last pieces of luggage.
Grounded cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
We are ready. It's because it takes a while before she's there.
Grounded cockpit, tow is driving up.
Perfect, thank you. We'll continue with the initialization of our aircraft. We'll be trying to land with 5,000 pounds of reserve fuel, cost index of 3.5, cruise altitude flight level 230, transition altitude 6,000 feet is correct for Milan, and one limit. Since we aren't that heavily loaded, we can use the derated thrust settings. Takeoff flaps 5, which gives us a trim of 516. That should be it. And a V2 of 153. So this means 168 climb out speed. The rest is good. I'll set the auto brakes to rejected takeoff. And I think the tow tug has arrived.
All doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
So now the tow tug will be connecting to our nose wheel and will be lifting the nose wheel. And as soon as we release the parking brake, we will be pushed back. I'll shut the the aft service door and the forward cargo door, which means that we only have the aft cargo door open, but we are still receiving some luggage. I'll turn on the anti-collision light, turn on the fuel pumps, yaw damper also. Rest is looking good. I'll switch off the packs and turn
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Parking brake is released, so we will now
Starting
push back.
And you may start engines.
We are already starting the engines. As soon as we have 25% N2, I'll be adding some fuel to the engine, and hopefully it will fire up as it should. There's the engine coming alive. Clack! The engine start switch goes to auto again, so let's start engine number 1. Same exercise, 25% N2, we add some fuel. We see that the start valve is open. That's good. All T's and P's are rising. Just like this.
Devices
Passenger
must be
view.
unplugged. They may remain on in airplane mode and must be secured. Flight attendant.
We should be good. Okay, there goes the start switch. Let's use engine power now. I'll turn on the probe heat, turn on the electric hydraulic pumps, turn on the air conditioning. Again, switch off the APU bleed. And this should be it. No, we still have to shut down the APU itself. I'll arm the flight directors, the auto throttle, VNAV, LNAV. I'm not sure what the tow tug is doing. What are you doing? Why is it pulling us back to the gate again? Is there somebody that hasn't paid for his drink? No? Okay, let's try again. In the meanwhile, let's try our flight control surfaces to see if they are fully free and correct. Perfect. Rudder, okay, nice. Let's go to takeoff configuration. No, I already had set the flaps. Yes, flaps 5. That's good. Engine switches can't. Like this. Okay, this is good, dear Towback Tug. Yeah, just leave us here. We're fine.
Operation
Thank you.
complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
Parking brake is set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Hey, firm. So after takeoff, we will be flying southbound, more or less. We'll be going to 7 nautical miles of Mike Charlie Alpha, and then we will make a slight left turn to another waypoint, the Novara NDB, November Oscar Victor, and from there we will start our route to Venice. We can disconnect, yes. Sorry, wasn't watching my screen, I was watching my tablet. There goes the tow tug. In order not to lose any time, I'll already switch on the landing lights.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed.
Strobes.
Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have fun up there.
Thank you, we always have fun when we can fly. Engine start switches can't, and transponder alt. Flaps are set. Okay, as soon as the lady says that we're good to go, we can go. Okay. Well, it looks like a man. It really looks like a man, but there's a female voice. Now something is wrong with better pushback. Okay, so we are all set for takeoff. Flaps are set, MCP is set, lights are set, engine start switches are set. This is the right runway, 17 left. We'll be making a rolling takeoff today. We need no clearance since we are flying all alone in this world. Let's try and use as much runway as we can since we'll be taking off with D-rated thrust. Like this. Let's pull up the engines. Make sure we are aligned. And then hit the toga button. Takeoff thrust is set. All looking good. Airspeed is coming alive.
80 knots.
Check. Stay on the center line, please. Oh, with this derated thrust,
V1, rotate.
we're not accelerating fast. And we have a positive rate.
Positive rate.
Gear up. And now let's try and pick up that 168 knots airspeed. And
400.
turn. Inbound our first waypoint like this. At 1000 feet we'll be lowering the nose,
1000.
picking up speed. Flaps 2. And we'll try to climb at approximately 1000 feet per minute. That should give us some extra speed. Flaps 1. We'll be flying through a very thin layer of clouds here. Just above it, cloud surfing. Nice. The aircraft is slowly picking up speed. Flaps up. Now don't climb too fast. We need to allow the aircraft to gain some speed. Go to 240 knots. Nice. Nice. Okay, now let's raise the nose to maintain 240-250 knots. Okay, and I'll turn on the autopilot right now. Set the auto brakes to off. Landing gear lever in the off position. We are above 3000 feet, so I'll set the engine start switches to ground. To auto, I mean, not to ground. Let's get going! In the meanwhile, I will be asking our ACAR system for some ATIS information about Venice. So we are now flying roughly southeast bound, and we will be turning east in a minute. (6,000 feet). Let's go to standard barometric pressure setting. In the meanwhile, I'll be looking for charts for Venice. Instrument plates, where can I find them? Right here in Sky Demon. Arrival charts. Okay, depending on the runway. So first I think we need to make sure we know which runway to use. So this is ATIS information from 2 hours ago. 040 degrees 12 knots. Quite some wind. Variable. More than 10 kilometers of visibility. Light rain scattered 2000. View 2500. Cumulonimbus. Not good. Broken 4000. With 20 degrees temperature and 20 degrees dew point. Which is quite odd since we have 10 kilometers of visibility. But hey, who am I to challenge what the ACAR says? QNH 1012 with recent thunderstorm and rain. Now that's interesting. Anyway, we will be landing on runway 04 left or right. Now let us see what the arrival charts say. I'm looking offline, tablet. So we are coming from Albert, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, we are coming from Albert. Let's say, oh, passing 10,000 feet. Turn off the landing lights, seatbelt signs. We should be fine. I'll turn off these VOR switches to declutter my screen. So for the 04 runways, let me see if we take this 04. Let's just take, let me see, 04, but which ILS approach? Let us first find out. Like this. Okay, I'm looking at the charts. And Sky Demon, the Yankee seems a perfectly feasible VOR ILS approach. The Yankee, and we will be coming in via the Lair. That's not what we need. We need an Albet. So let's just erase that. We did have other stars just a moment ago. Let me see if we can. Yes, the Albert 1 Yankee. Okay, I have the 1 X-ray on my chart, which should be fine. Let me see which runways this can. Oh, okay, so Albert is only for the runways 22. And the Larens is for runway 04. Okay, so let me erase this again. And we'll try to figure something out for the runway 04. Right with the ILS Yankee. Do we have the Laren 1 Delta or 1 Charlie? Yes, we have. We'll take the 1 Charlie, which is for runway 02. Transition via this one. This is exactly what we need. Okay, let me take a look here first. The wonderful Alps to our left hand side. Slightly cloudy. Let's take a look at the passenger view. Beautiful scenery in X-plane. Okay, so after Albert we go to VPAD. Yes, that's true. And then to Agave, and then to Laren. And from Laren we go to Latus. Okay, and then straight in for the runway 04 right. This is exactly what we need. Transition altitude is 6,000 feet, so let's say the transition level will be flight level 60. Are there any restrictions? I don't see any specific restrictions. No. Okay, nice. Now let me take the ILS chart. Aerodrome elevation 7 feet, so let's say that the landing altitude will be 0 feet. Indeed, after latest waypoint it's 040, heading straight to the runway. We'll be there anytime soon. It will be a very short flight. We won't be flying very high neither. Flight level 230. And the localizer frequency 109.905. Just like this. We'll set it up as VOR1. And there is also a VOR Tercera Tango Echo Sierra 115.3. Let us also enter and use this VOR. We are not yet receiving it. That's not a problem. Missed approach. Proceed on track 040 degrees until 3.8 nautical miles VTS DME. VTS is the localizer identifier. Climb it to 3,000 feet and turn right. Heading track 169 degrees with a maximum airspeed of 185 knots to intercept and follow radial 034 of Charlie Hotel India VOR DME, which is a track of 214 degrees. Now it might be useful to introduce the frequency of that Charlie Hotel India VOR then. Wouldn't it? Now let me see here. 114.1. Okay, let us use this
1,000 to
one.
go.
It will be safer if we have a missed approach. Okay, almost reaching our cruise level. Let's say that to our people, to our passengers.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck. We've reached our cruising altitude. Looks like we are anticipating on-time arrival. You're going to head turn off the seatbelt at this time. Just remember, if you are in your seats, keep your seatbelts fastened in case we do experience any unexpected turbulence. Enjoy the flight, and if there's anything we can do to make your ride, to let a member of the crew know.
Thank you. I think the captain flies for Ryanair, the on-time airline. Every time he talks, he says we will be on time, on schedule. Look at those beautiful mountains, beautiful clouds. Isn't this just perfect? Very slight turbulence. Beautiful aircraft, beautiful scenery, beautiful weather. What else can we ask for? A small airport just there. Bergamo Airport. Orio al serio. That's the name. Okay, let us see, when should we start descending? In 50 nautical miles. 121 nautical miles to go. Nice. Which will be our VRF 154 knots. With 30 degrees flaps. Oh, here it says CRS 39 degrees. Let us just use this then as course instead of 040. It might be more accurate in explain. I really should reactivate my iVeo account to fly online. It usually asks a bit more preparation, but if you are prepared, it's actually very fun if you have a real person doing the ATC job for you. Just a little bit of bad weather right here. That's also what the ATIS information for Venice said. Okay, so let's reset the MCP altitude to 3000 feet, which will be the altitude from where I will probably hand fly the aircraft. And that's also our missed approach altitude, so I don't have to touch that anymore. Let's set the auto brakes and let's arm the speed brakes. Check. We are picking up the Charlie Hotel India VOR here, which we will need when we will be flying a missed approach. I think this Charlie Hotel India VOR, its name is Chioggia, but I'm not sure. I don't speak Italian. Chioggia. You can correct me if I'm wrong. All is quiet in the cabin. Yes, all is quiet. People are enjoying the beautiful scenery, the beautiful weather outside. As are we. The aircraft is wiggling just a little, just enough to make people a little asleep. And we are flying now, overflying now, the infamous Lago di Garda. Now this lake is massive, and is very beautiful, has beautiful little towns all around it. There's also a theme park somewhere. Gives you a nice vacation. But we can't go today since we have to fly. Starting our descent in 27 nautical miles. We will be staying well clear of all that bad weather. Well, it's not that bad, it's just a small green yellow spot at our 11 o'clock. "20 nauticals to go. And we should be landing in 20 minutes. The beautiful Lago di Garda behind us. As you can see, there is a very light turbulence. The aircraft is slowly rocking from left to right. Okay, let's turn on seatbelt signs. Do our flight attendants have to say something?
Gentlemen, the captain has turned on the fasten seatbelt sign. Please recheck the security of your seatbelt.
It's short, but it's to the point. Almost reaching Adosa, we see the Mediterranean Sea right in front of us. Well, it's actually just a specific part of the Mediterranean Sea. What is it called? The Adrian Sea, I think. Now let's slowly start our descent. We'll tell the aircraft to descend at a speed of 265 knots. Not too fast. Just like this. Nice. Now let me retry the ACARS to see if we can have updated ATIS information. Let's send it again. So we will be landing with flaps 30 at speed of 154 knots. Tell the people we are descending.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck here, we are on our descent. Seatbelt sounds going to be back on for our rattle. If you're up and about, please to return your seats, fasten your seatbelts. Still showing well ahead of schedule. Thanks again. Hope you have a nice week. Have you on here very shortly.
Now he's saying that we will be arriving ahead of schedule. It's always getting better. Okay, there seems to be some nasty weather right there. That's good, we won't have it. Even though that's always a challenging flight then, if you have bad weather. We'll just pass through those cirrus clouds. Try to set the wheels on runway 04 right at Venice. ACARS, thank you. No, all still the same. 8 is information. It's a pity. Now let's see what Evitab can tell us. If we ask Evitab for some information. No, it's the exact same information as in the ACARS. Okay, no worries. 61 nauticals to go. 15 minutes. Slowly descending inbound Venice airport. It's right there. To our 10 o'clock, more or less. Make a nice turn to the left. Get us all set up for the landing. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. First a slight right-hand turn apparently. The aircraft needs drag, but I'll let it go just a little more. 55 nauticals to go. No, it's actually accelerating, so let's use the speed brakes a little. There they come. Oh, and gone are the clouds. And there they are again. Just there. I think the weather has just made an update. Our speed is coming good. Let's retract the speed brakes and arm them again. Let me see if I can have my frames per second displayed here. Where is it? Where is it? Was it? Visual effects. Show frames per second. Okay. Good, 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 good. I'm still tweaking the settings to have a good frame rate even when the weather's bad. I've now turned off entirely the reflection detail. We'll see what it does. Okay, nice, 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 nice. It's right there somewhere, below those clouds. "12 minutes to go, 41 miles. V-pad is coming closer, which will be our final turn. You can also see that the aircraft will be decelerating right now, since we will be passing 10,000 feet. Now, how much was the altimeter setting again? I don't remember. 1012. So as soon as we pass flight level 60, we'll set 1012 as the QNH. And let's turn on the landing lights. And maybe use the speed brake just a little more. I'll set the engine start switches to can't, and I'll tell the people behind that they should prepare for landing.
Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for landing.
That's it. Now we have 29 nauticals to go. Clouds are flickering just a little, which is a known bug in X-Plane.
Secure position and double check the security of your seatbelt. At this time, all electronic devices must be turned off and stowed. Thank you.
Thank you for this safety briefing. I'll retract the speed brakes, arm them again. And we shall slowly be getting ready to land. "24 nauticals. With 30 frames per second, that's good. I'll switch to the approach mode. We are not yet receiving the localizer. Niner 905. This is what we have here. We're still. Oh, there it is. Identifier Victor Tango Sierra. Yes, that's the one. Now let's switch to the correct QNH setting 1012. If you hear a bleep on the background, that's sky deeming. That tells me that I'm entering controlled airspace. Okay, 18 nauticals to go. Now let's switch off the autopilot, the auto throttle, and let's just use the speed brakes again because we are very high on speed. We should be just a little higher. So let me lower that rate of descent. VREV is 154 knots. Entering the clouds, but we have plus 17 degrees centigrade. It's good. Okay, I'll retract the speed brakes and arm them again. Flaps go to flaps 1. We'll probably be having to pitch down. Okay, perfect. I need to track the localizer better than that. Push the nose a little down. Once we break through the clouds, we will probably be seeing Venice Airport. Flaps 2. -5. 12 nauticals to go. We are completely IMC right now. No worries. Trying to track the localizer and the glide slope. Landing gear out, down, flaps 10. We have a higher rate of descent, but we need to catch up with this glide slope, which is slightly below us, but it's getting better. Add just a little power. And some flaps. This is beautiful. Look at this. Can't lose the localizer. Flaps 15, so let's go to flaps 25. I still don't have the airfield in sight. Perhaps all the way back there. And flaps 30. Okay. I'll have to raise the nose. Oh, I'm now seeing the airport lights. It's good. Now let's raise the aircraft nose. Add some power. Oh, that was not good. We are now off course due to this turbulence. We are good now. I need to track the localizer again. We need to be a little higher. You can hear that I make the trim work overtime. Wind is coming from the right, so we will be crabbing in. "13 knots wind. Let me see how fast we can go back to that center line. Seem to be very stable right now. Just lower the nose a little to increase our rate of descent. Getting back to that center line. We are flying VREF 154 knots. Need to be a little lower. I'll decrab just a little to keep track of the center line.
Thousand feet, stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
I did set the minimums. That's a pity. Nice, all set. There we come. Nice on the glide slope. 2 reds, 2 whites on the poppies.
300. 200.
Try to have 50 feet over the threshold. Let's say minimums and continue.
50.
Nice, perfect.
30, 20,
Now let's grease
10.
the landing. Add a little rudder. Oh, not good. Reverse thrust. I added too much rudder, unfortunately. Reverses are set. And let's try to vacate right.
80 knots.
No, not here. That won't work. Right here. Manual braking. should be able to make that turn. Nice. Beautiful. Let's retract the speed brakes and the flaps. Set the transponder to standby. Turn off the landing lights. Switch on the APU. Turn on the taxi lights. Set the engine start switches to auto and set the position lights. We'll just cross this runway. Now let me see where we can park. Let us take a look at the map. Maybe the map will tell us what you can do. Nah, not really. Okay, so let's take a look outside. Do we see any gate that is free? Yes, the one right in front of us is free. Perfect, let's take that one. Welcome to Venice, my friends. No auto gate, no auto gate. No marshal neither. We'll just have to do it like we think we should do it. Oh, there's a catering truck pulling up already. Gate 325, my friends. Okay, let's set the parking brake. Switch on the APU gen switches. Turn off the engines. Like this. Turn off the anti-collision light. Turn off the fasten seatbelt signs. Nice, 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 nice. This is how we roll, buddies. Switch off the IRS. Yaw damper off. Switch on the unnecessary fuel pumps. Dearm the emergency exit lights, so turn off the window heat switches, turn off the probe heat, turn off the electric hydraulic pumps, the air conditioning, and then we should be almost set. We turn off the APU gen switches, the APU, we switch on the last fuel pump that we had, turn off the battery and turn off all the lights. Nice, this is it, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the flight, that you learned something. Make sure you subscribe to my channel because there will be more explained videos coming. There will also be more general aviation videos coming, real world general aviation videos coming of me flying a Piper 28 with some fellow PPL pilots. So make sure to subscribe so you'll get a notification of me when I upload new videos. Thanks for watching and bye bye.